Jordan should be able to get his ball pretty deep in the end zone. Nice deep kick.
It's taken by number 19, Shamil Maxwell. He gets out close to the 20 before he's stacked up by a host of Chieftains. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at about the 18-yard line.
Looks like number 15, Kevin McQuaid, was the first man downfield to make contact.
We mentioned in the pregame show, Barry, that tonight the Bulldogs will be without Kaheem Maxwell. He is, or was, their star sophomore tailback. Had rushed for 921 yards and 6 touchdowns, but he is not playing tonight due to disciplinary suspension.
Athens set to run the first play from scrimmage tonight. Right at the own 20-yard line, it looks like.
Freshman Joe Sparhawk under center, his first start at quarterback. He gives the number 35. That is a fullback, freshman as well, Barry, Chris Meek, and he picks up a yard, maybe 2. That'll be 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Didn't see who made the hit on there, but I saw number 25 get up. That's Jim Myers, whose name we've called a lot this year from his defensive linebacker position, Bill. Done an outstanding job ball hawking all year long.
And talking to the folks from Athens, we understand about 26 people, only 26 young men out for the football program this year, and quite a few of them are freshmen, Barry.
I believe 9 are freshmen. 2nd down and 8 for Athens from their own 22-yard line.
Number 13, Nick Toth in motion. Sparhawk drops back to pass. It is...
I think that ball may be intercepted.
Off. And the referees...
Deflected by the Athens Bulldog player, picked off by Chad Zimmerman. Logan gets a big break early in the game, Bill. Takes over 1st and 10 on the Athens 30-yard line. Just underway, 10 minutes and 53 seconds to go here in the first period.
You saw the freshman quarterback Sparhawk, Barry, looked a little bit tentative as he dropped back to pass and threw the ball into some coverage. And Chad Zimmerman, as he's done all year for the Chieftains, playing a solid defense in the backfield, picks that one off.
I think that's the worst thing that Athens could have wanted to happen in tonight's game. Turn the ball over to Logan deep in their own territory.
1st and 10 for the Chieftains, just inside 30. Brian Miller gives to John Cosgrove. He's about the 25, 20.
He's gone
all the way.
I see no flags. Logan scores 19 seconds to draw first blood of tonight's game. And Bill, just like we talked, expect John Cosgrove to be the workhorse tonight. Scores on a 30-yard touchdown run.
First play from scrimmage, he goes over the massive right side of Ryan Carpenter and Brooks Burris, a touchdown run. The Chieftains are up 6-zip.
Boy, they made it look easy.
Of course, that brings on one of the more consistent Chieftains we've seen all year, senior place kicker Jordan Jackson. Jordan has 18 extra points on the season. It's right down the middle, and with 10 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first quarter, Barry, it's already 7-0 as the Chieftains take the lead.
Bill, I got some good news and bad news for you tonight. We are going to have the trivia contest sponsored by Pizza Crossing, but you don't get a pizza tonight.
I will have to wait till we get back to Logan.
Yeah, I tell you, best pizza in town, Pizza Crossing.
Stop by and see Tom and the folks, and my friends Mike and Vicky that work there. I'm sure they'll treat us right. If you buy, they'll treat us right.
Hey, you better believe it.
Now, Barry, as you mentioned on that Athens turnover, one thing the Bulldogs can surely not afford to do tonight is to turn the ball over. If they want to compete with the Chieftains, they're going to have to try and keep the ball and go on some long drives down the field. That's going to be tough to do against the Chieftain defense.
Well, it was a one-play, 30-yard drive by Logan. A little bit of wind. You see the ball is blowing off the tee. Jordan will re-tee it. So we still got 10:34 here to go in the first period of play. Logan up quickly, 7-0. Ball's going to be fielded about the 8-yard line. A good kickoff by Jordan. Down early for the coverage. Number 28 for Logan. Joey Soul makes the tackle. So Athens will start their second possession, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line on a short end of a 7-0 score.
No doubt Joey and the rest of the senior Chieftains fired up for tonight's ball game, Barry. Their last on the football field for the Logan Chieftains.
Well, that's a disappointing loss we had last week. Give these guys a chance to go out in a winning mode.
Freshman Sparhawk under center. The Bulldogs in the I formation. He's going to give the ball to Nick Toth. Toth looking around the right side.
Good pursuit. In the backfield early was 42. That's Brett Hackison. Strung the play out and enabled the rest of the defense to catch up. Picked up a yard and a half.
They'll call it 2nd and 8, 9 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the first quarter. From Rudder Field, Bill Morgan and Barry Metzler with all the play-by-play action of Chieftain football tonight on LHS TV2. The Bulldogs' only victory this year, Barry, coming over a Portsmouth Notre Dame, a rather small Division IV school, about the middle of the season. Number 81, Bryan Wharton, in motion for the Bulldogs. Pitch again to Toth, again around the right side.
Good move. Again, Brett Hackison out there to stack things up. Toth tried to put a move on Brent. Brent wasn't here for it. Said, stay right here, son. I'm going to drag you down.
Brett's another one of those fired-up seniors, but if you've kept your eye on Brett all throughout the season, there's not too many times that Brett isn't fired up when he's out there on the football field. Going to be 3rd and 6 for Coach Matt McPhail's Bulldogs. Number 87, the sophomore Mike Grippa, split wide to the left.
Sparhawk's got some pressure, throws the ball. Just as the ball got there, he was hit. I think that was Chad Zimmerman broke that up. Sparhawk under severe pressure by the Logan defensive line is going to bring up a 4th and 6. Athens will be punting from their own, from about 29-yard line.
3 and out for the Bulldogs, and Sparhawk also the team's punter, Barry. Back deep for the Chieftains, Chad Zimmerman and John Cosgrove. Chieftains looking to set up a return here. Low snap. Sparhawk does get it off.
Nice punt.
It's going to be fielded by Chad Zimmerman at about the 40-yard line. He's cutting outside. He's across the 45.
Got some speed. Cuts back.
Field 45.
Boy, good run back by Chad Zimmerman. Good cut back there.
It'll be 1st and 10 inside Bulldog territory at the 43 as the Chieftains come out for their second possession of the ball game, Barry. And on the first possession, not too much to talk about. 29-yard touchdown run by John Cosgrove. And no doubt Coach Matt McPhail had a few words for his defense as they came over to the sidelines after that.
Eric Cox split this side. Real wide split. Brian Miller under center. Brian to throw his first pass. Hits Eric over the center, picks up about 8 yards.
One of the favorite combinations you'll see Brian Miller to Eric Cox there. They like that little play where Brian just sort of throws it over, and as Eric runs straight out. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Chieftains. We'll see a lot of guys go both ways tonight for the Bulldogs, Barry. And that could definitely become a factor later in the game as they go up against this tough Chieftain offensive line. Tough and big.
Yes. Handoff inside. I think the ball's on the ground, Bill, I'm sorry. Old ways die hard. Got a fumble on the play. I haven't seen a signal yet who's got possession, but it looks like, who came up with that? Logan's going to maintain possession. Dustin Grove picks up the loose balls. I think he had a first down, but when they fumbled, it may be in question now. Joey Soul on the carry.
Going to call the chain gang in for the first time tonight.
First down, Chieftains. So Logan's got the ball 1st and 10 from the Athens 32-yard line. Clock's running, 7:25 to go here in the first period of play. Miller pitches outside. Big hole. That's Myers, picks up about 7 yards, Bill. I'm sorry, Cosgrove. We're a long ways from the field up here. Not to mention the fact that one of us kind of old tonight. One of us is kind of old, can't see too well tonight.
One of us is tall and one of us is short, and we'll tell a little secret about
I wasn't going to mention the heights, but since you bring it up, we don't want to say it, but Bill Morgan was standing on about a 12-inch box.
And I was still shorter than Barry. Here's again a fullback, Jim Myers. He plows ahead.
We're running with authority, Jim Myers. Another first down for the Chiefs.
1st and 10 inside the Bulldog 20. It looks like they'll spot it about the 18-yard line, maybe the 19, Barry. So far, it appears that the Chieftain offense sort of doing what they want with the Bulldog defense this evening. Just about halfway through the first period, 6:25 to go. Mellinger to the left.
Cosgrove with the ball again. Run to the left side that time. Picked up about 7, looks like. Bill, like you mentioned, it looks like the Chiefs are having their own way with that Athens defensive line so far. And that's where you win ball games in the SEOAL up front.
We mentioned in the pregame show, for those folks who might not have been with us, Barry, a lot of folks, of course, are disappointed after Logan's loss last week to Gallup Police. But the SEOAL title chase not over yet. Gallup Police has to win at home tonight against Jackson. Now, if they do that, they'll take the SEOAL title outright. Should the Ironmen pull off an upset this evening and the Chieftains win, once again, there'll be a three-way tie for first place in the league. Brian Miller calls out the signals. He throws, and just outside the hands of Eric Cox. And the referee's going to throw a flag there, Barry, and we're not real sure what they're going to call.
I didn't see what that was either, Bill. We're a long way away from that. They're calling, one of the Athens players is saying that that's against the Logan Chiefs, but we'll let the officials sort this out for us. A dead ball foul against the Chiefs. Ineligible man downfield. Well, that's the first time Logan's been stopped all night by the Athens Bulldogs, and it takes a penalty to do it.
This, of course, will mean a loss of down for the Chieftains. And they're going to march the ball back about 5 yards.
5-yard penalty marked off for ineligible man downfield.
So it'll be possibly 2nd and 10.
Bill, I'm with you. I thought that was loss of down, but I see it's still 2nd and 10. So it must not have been loss of down.
Have to go check the rule book.
So 2nd and 10. 19-yard line.
There goes John Cosgrove. He's right up the middle, and he's going to sail into the end zone.
6 more for Cosgrove. Boy, they're making it look easy, Bill.
The Hogs down front tonight, Barry. They're just opening a huge offensive line.
You mentioned it. Kind of reminds you of the old Hogs from the Washington Redskin days, but they're just blowing the Athens Bulldogs off the line, and John Cosgrove found the hole, cut back, and kind of loped easily into the end zone to score his 2nd touchdown of the evening, and of course Logan's 2nd touchdown also.
Our producer Craig Nixon tells us the freshman team is dressed tonight, and with the score of 14, or about to be 14-0, if Jordan Jackson converts on the extra point here, which he does, we may see some of those freshman players in the ball game before
Be a
the
thrill
night's
for
over.
them, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a thrill for those young guys to play?
They work hard all year long, and Coach Amix has rewarded them by letting them dress for tonight's ball game in Athens.
58-yard touchdown drive in 6 plays, 19-yard run by John Cosgrove. Point after was good.
Well, 5 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in the first period of play. Logan up by a 14-0 margin. It's kind of about what we expected. Hate to wish the Athens team any bad luck, but like we read in the paper, it looked like it was going to be all Athens tonight, and so far, all Logan tonight, and so far it has been.
Talking with the folks from Athens before the game, Barry, they had a school levy that didn't pass on Election Day back on Tuesday, and I guess coming into a special board meeting they had tonight in Athens, they're wondering if they're going to have athletics at all for the rest of the year, but apparently the board approved a pay-to-play system, so that's what the folks in Athens are going to be facing for the rest of the year.
You know, not to be critical, but you wonder what happened to their tradition with sports down here, because for years they were number one in a lot of sports in the league. Return was on there, and ball shook loose, but Bulldogs did recover on their own 15-yard line. Down there again, had his nose in there, was Joey So.
Bulldogs are, I guess, hoping for better things in basketball. They've got the big Sonny Kalu, a big 6'5" guy, returning to their team this year, so hoping for better things in basketball. And we understand that at the end of the first quarter, I don't know if you heard the PA announcer in the background, but the Gallup Police Blue Devils leading the Jackson Ironmen 7-0 at the end of the first quarter down on the Ohio River. Sparhawk gives the ball to Toth, and he goes right up the middle and stopped by the interior of the Chieftain defense, picks up a yard, maybe two. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs of Athens.
Brian Klump at the bottom of that pile up, number 77.
Speaking of the pizza crossing, I was sitting in the pizza crossing the other day, Barry, and Brian Klump came in there, and not a young man I think I'd want to be on the wrong side of.
Mr. Klump, huh?
Mr. Klump, he is a big young man.
Athens splits off two receivers to this side. 2nd and 8, throwing formation. We'll see what they do here, Bill. Going to run to the right. Got a little opening, but quickly shut down by the Chieftain defensive linebackers.
It's Mr. Do-It-All with the football for the Bulldogs, Nick Toth. Normally, he's the quarterback for this team, but with the suspension of Kaheem Maxwell, he shifted to the tailback spot. He played a tailback last year for the Bulldogs in the game in Athens, or the game in Logan, I should say, and he had a spectacular ball game last year for the Bulldogs at Bill Sauer Field. It's number 87, Mike Grippa, and number 85, John Hanley, split wide to the right, with Meeks and Toth in the backfield. Sparhawk drops back to pass on 3rd and 5, throws it over the middle, and it's picked off again by Chad Zimmerman.
He could go, Bill. He's going to go.
The 15, the 10, the 5, and he just misses the end zone. Knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. 3 minutes and 41 seconds in the ball to go in the first quarter. And Chad Zimmerman already has 2 picks, Barry.
Bill, we got a flag on the play, I think. I'm not sure what that was. It's in the backfield of the Athens Bulldogs. It could be a roughing the passer penalty. Oh, against the Bulldogs are calling that. Must have been after the play. I didn't see the flag thrown. I just looked up and saw it. So Logan's got the ball, 1st and goal on the Athens 2-yard line after interception and a return by Chad Zimmerman. Logan knocking at the door again. It looks like they'll move that half the distance after that penalty on Athens. 1st and goal from the 1, and I expect to see John Cosgrove get the ball here again, Bill.
Well, that personal foul, it's half the distance of the goal, Barry, and
cost him a yard.
That's not too far in this situation. Chad looked like he had clear sailing on that interception to the end zone, but right before he got to the pylon, he was knocked out of bounds.
Excellent block downfield on one of the Athens players. I didn't see who made it, but team game and a good block downfield to help Chad get on down a little closer to the goal line. Didn't quite make it, though. Power eye, Brian Miller sneaks the ball over from the 1. Scores a touchdown. That's the 3rd touchdown here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this first period of play. Game so far has been all Logan. 2 interceptions by the Chieftains been turned into timely scores.
And don't quote me on this, Barry, but I believe that's the first touchdown by Brian Miller all year long.
I think you're right. Our director has got to score Logan 21-0 on there. We've got a lot of confidence in our kicker. Well, he hasn't got it on the main screen yet, but he's got it down here. We see things here on the set that you folks at home can't quite see. And now we can put her up 21-0 in favor of the Logan Chieftains.
No doubt the Logan Chieftain coaching staff, knowing that Brian Miller's a senior and may well be his last chance to get in the end zone, they let Brian call his own number, and he just surges ahead behind that strong Chieftain offensive line. The extra point by Jordan Jackson, again good, and with just about 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, the Chieftains up big, 21-0.
This could get ugly tonight, Bill.
I think it's already starting to get
It's ugly
Barry.
already. Could get real ugly.
Coach Dale Amix and his staff, of course, a class act, and once this thing starts to get even more out of hand, frankly, Barry, than it already is, what they'll do, no doubt, is they'll start substituting rather freely.
Well, these boys all deserve a chance to play. They play on the scout team and get beat up by Brooks Burris and Ryan Carpenter and Brian Klump. Give them a chance to dish out some medicines they've taken all year. That's all part of it. You pay your dues when you're a freshman, sophomore, and get to play when you're a junior, senior. Jordan Jackson set to kick off again for the 4th time in the ball game. Nice deep kick into the end zone and through the end zone. So going to see Athens take over their 3rd possession or 4th possession. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. So far, Athens unable to muster any offense, have been hampered by 2 costly turnovers deep inside their own territory, which Logan has turned into 2 touchdowns, and we scored another touchdown on about a 48-yard 6-play drive after an Athens punt. So we got 3:37 to go. Logan comfortably ahead, 21-0 from Athens Runner Football Field.
Nick Toth in motion from left to right. They're going to give the ball to Toth. He's going to cross the 20 and get knocked down by his own man in a collision at about the 24-yard line. And
Nick's a little slow getting up there, Bill.
Certainly is.
That's a play that Gallipolis ran with a great deal of success last week against the Chiefs, and Nick Toth is still down. He took a shot completely unexpected from one of his own players, number 75. I think it was Jim Wilkes. Was blocked into the path of Nick Toth, and he took a shot on his left side there. Hope he's not injured too seriously. Hate to see a young man injured, and you know, Athens just has no depth. You know, you look down here on the field and you see the 11 men on the football field, and you only see about 10 or 11 on the sidelines. When you look across the field, you see the Logan varsity reserve and freshman team lining the sidelines. We're going to take a little time out here, and we'll be right back after we tend to Mr. Toth.
To compete, you've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us. The few, the proud, the Marines.
3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Gallipolis 14, Jackson 0.
3 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. That's right, not the first half, but the first quarter, Barry, and it's 21-0 Chieftains.
I think there was a bad exchange there with the center. Looks like Athens maintains possession. However, it's going to bring up 3rd down and a long 5 yards to go for the Athens Bulldogs to maintain possession of this ball.
Something I guess you can expect to see when you have a new quarterback in there, Barry. That's Joe Sparhawk, the freshman, who we've talked about quite a bit tonight. And the senior center, Scott Kidd, number 62 for the Bulldogs. As you mentioned, a little bit of trouble on the exchange. Going to be 3rd and 5 for Coach Matt McPhail's squad. Meeks and Toth in the I formation. Sparhawk is going to fake to Toth, drop back to pass. He throws over. Looks like it could be another pickoff, and off the hands of Chad Zimmerman. Also almost had number 3, Barry.
Boy, threw it right in the hands of a Logan Chieftain. Lucky that ball didn't get picked off. Sparhawk throwing the ball. Blitz put on by the Logan Chiefs that time under severe pressure. Was lucky to get the ball away. Going to bring up 4th and 5, and Athens will be back to punt again. John Cosgrove and Chad Zimmerman back to receive this punt. Chad almost broke the last punt he fielded for a touchdown. Good snap. Gets it away. Nice high kick into the wind. Cosgrove picks it up, and he's around the corner. He's got some room. Cuts it back down inside the Athens territory to about the Athens 35-yard line, Bill. So once again, Logan will take over with excellent field position.
Bulldog punt team sort of thought the Chieftains were going to let it roll, but at the last second, John Cosgrove picked it up and using the speed that he has, went over to the right side and got a nice pickup. As you mentioned, a good field position again for the Logan Chieftains.
Looks like we do have a flag on the play, Bill. We'll see what happens. Might be a clip. Marching the ball off against the Logan Chieftains. Evidently, that was a clipping called against the Chieftains. So that'll cost us 15 yards and negates a good punt return by John Cosgrove.
1st and 10 for the Logan offense at their own 47-yard line. Going to be the first time tonight the Chieftains have started an offensive drive in their own territory, Barry.
So just a little less than 2 minutes to go here in the first period of play. Logan in Athens territory at the 47-yard line with the ball again. Guess who's got the ball? And guess where he's at? He's inside Athens territory, down inside the 30-yard, about the 34-yard line, it looks like, Bill.
About a 25-yard pickup for John Cosgrove, already having a big evening.
Good hard run.
John's got about 70 yards rushing so far on the evening, and 2 touchdowns. We're not even outside of the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Chieftains. At the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Got a flag on the field. Don't know what that was, but the pass for Brian Miller intended for Chad Zimmerman was thrown well out of bounds, well over Chad's head. Ball kind of sailed on Brian with the wind behind him.
Probably be an illegal motion penalty on the Chieftains.
It's procedure.
March that 5 yards back. It'll be a 1st and 15.
Illegal procedure, 5-yard penalty. Brings up 1st and 15.
First and 15 for Logan with a minute 15 to go here in the first period of play.
Eric Cox split wide to the left. Matt Medlinger split wide to the right for the Chieftains. It's Myers and Cosgrove in the backfield.
Athens came with a full blitz that time and caught John Cosgrove in the backfield. If they hadn't got him, Bill, he would have been in the end zone again.
Penetration by big number 75, Jim Wilkes, and he takes Cosgrove down in the backfield, as you mentioned, Barry, and second takedown of the night for big Jim Wilkes. He took down Nick Toth, but that was his own teammate a little bit earlier.
Ball 2nd down and 20.
We've got Mellinger to the left this time, Zimmerman to the right, Myers and Cosgrove in the backfield. There's the give to Jim Myers up the middle.
Big hole. Picks up about 18 yards, 16 yards, somewhere along in there. Going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Nick Toth on the tackle. Quick hitting play inside. Gives Logan a chance to pick up a 1st down. 3rd and 8.
Have to wait and see if the Chieftains can get this play off. They do. Brian Miller fakes to Cosgrove. He's under heavy pressure. He throws the ball, and it's going to be incomplete. The Athens fans screaming for a grounding call, but they're not going to get it from the officials, Barry. And at the end of 1 quarter, the score, the Logan Chieftains 21 and the Athens Bulldogs nothing.
There you see the LHS TV2 Pizza Crossing Trivia Contest. Which SEOA school has the most titles in football? Is it Athens? Is it Gallipolis? Is it Jackson? Or is it Logan?
I think I know the answer to that, Barry. Do you?
Oh, I've got a pretty good feeling who it might be, Bill. But we'll divulge the answer following the third quarter.
Now, if we can get the answer right, does producer Craig Nixon buy us pizza at the Pizza Crossing? Is that how that works? That's what Ed Fickle told me when he asked me to do this tonight.
Once again, Bill, in your youth, you've been misled by someone that's a little older, maybe not any wiser than you, but it's been around a little longer. You know, I come to these football games, and I know, boy, at halftime, Tom's going to have pizza for us, and I don't eat any dinner. So tonight, I think, well, kind of like Pavlov's dog, football, halftime pizza, and we're going to have football halftime, but no pizza tonight, so I didn't eat any dinner. Well, let's go get some good popcorn or something from the Athens concession stand.
4th and 8 for the Chieftains at the Bulldog 31. It's Matt Mellinger.
They're going for this, Bill.
To the right side. Eric Cox out to the left. Miller's going to drop back to pass, throws to John Cosgrove. He's got the ball. They're going to throw a flag. Cosgrove's going to go all the way for the touchdown.
But there is a flag.
He's taken down at about the 8-yard line, but that's probably all going to come back, Barry.
Be my guess it's a clip, Bill. What do you think?
Considering the area of the field where they threw the laundry, Barry, you're probably exactly right. The officials talking it over.
Well executed play. Got to give the offense credit for that.
They're going to wave off the flag.
Wave off the flag. No flag. Logan's going to take over at the 1st and goal on about the 7-yard line where John Cosgrove was forced out of bounds.
Never exactly real sure how that can happen. Those referees have those flags tucked back there in their back pocket, and suddenly they say, no, I just dropped it, Barry.
Well, I admire the official for admitting that I made a mistake. It wasn't a clip, or it wasn't what I thought it was. Somebody had a better look at it than I did and picked it up. So a 24-yard pass completion from Bryan Miller to John Cosgrove on the screen pass gives Logan a 1st and goal on the 7, just underway in the second period of play. Hitting inside, Cosgrove again picks up a couple short yards down to the 5-yard line.
A nice 4th down pickup by the Chieftains, Barry, that enabled them to get the 1st and goal. John Cosgrove just sort of hung back in the backfield, acted like he was blocking for quarterback Bryan Miller. Then he flared out to the left side. Bryan found him, and John scampered down to the 7-yard line for a 1st and goal situation. It'll be 2nd and goal now from the 5-yard line. There's the pitch to Cosgrove. He's going around the left side, gets across the 5, and he hangs up, but he's stacked up and pushed out of bounds.
Well, broke several tackles, refused to go down there, Bill. I'm not sure how much yardage he gained north and south, but east and west, he's running about 30 yards.
It'll be a 3rd and goal for the Chieftains as John managed to nudge the nose of the ball just inside the 5-yard line.
All of a sudden, Athens' defense is stiffened on a couple of plays here in a row.
Senior quarterback Bryan Miller looking to the sidelines for the play from the coaches. Chieftains break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage.
Look for John Cosgrove over right side. I see they got Jason Weaver in the backfield here as a blocking back.
There's the give to Jim Myers.
Myers gets down about the 2-yard line, it looks like there, Bill. 4th and goal for Logan from the 1. He picked up 3. I'm sure you'll see the Logan Chiefs going for this one. I'd like to see him give the ball to Jason Weaver here, Bill. He's been a blocking back several times in this situation this year.
Jason is a senior.
There's a touchdown.
Touchdown number 3 on the evening for John Cosgrove, Barry. He came into tonight's ball game with 13 touchdowns on the season. Of course, that total now up to 16, and a big night for the junior tailback.
Big play on that drive is a 4th and 8, 24-yard pass completion from Bryan Miller to John Cosgrove. Got the ball down to the 7-yard line. From there, Logan marched it in the next 4 plays and scored their 4th touchdown. On to attempt the point after touchdown is Jordan Jackson.
3 of 3 so far on his extra point attempts on the evening.
Looking down here on our monitor, once again, Robbie Patterson got her up there 28-0.
Another update on that Gallo Police game, Gary. It is Barry. It is now 14-0.
I stand corrected. He prefers to be called Robert Patterson. Mr. Robert Patterson has it down 28-0.
The snap is good, the hold is good by Eric Cox, and the kick is good by Jordan Jackson. With 10:18 to play in the first half, the score Logan 28, Athens nothing.
Robert does a good job. The only thing I question about sometimes is his taste in music.
Robert is reputed to be the biggest Elvis fan in Hocking County.
Well, when I was just a kid growing up, Elvis was a four-letter word in my house.
We may have a brawl in the press box between Barry and Robert in just a couple of minutes.
I'll just leave. I'm not going to fight with anybody. Robert, stand up on a chair and kick me in the shin if you want to. But once again, folks, we're bored. Trying to find something to talk about. Score Logan 28, Athens nothing. Just underway the second quarter of play, and you're seeing it here. Jordan to kick off again for the fifth time this evening. Logan continues to dominate this game. Ball squibbed along the side. Ball down on the the Athens 35-yard line, where Athens will start their next drive.
Freshman quarterback Joe Sparhawk coming onto the field to try and get something going for his Chargers. So far, not been much at all for the Athens Bulldog offense tonight. Bulldogs come out and split two men wide to the right. It's Chris Meeks and Nick Toth in the backfield. Sparhawk gives to his fellow freshman Chris Meeks. He's going to get absolutely nothing as he's pounded by big number 77, Brian Klump.
He looked up and saw 2 sevens. That's all he saw. Jason Weaver also in on that tackle. But Brian Klump, the main man that time, 1 yard loss, going to bring up a second down and 11 for the Bulldogs.
One man wide to the left, one man wide to the right for Athens.
Official is calling the ball complete to Maxwell, number 19. First completion of the evening for the Athens Bulldogs. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Athens Bulldogs from the Logan 40-yard line. Excuse me, the Athens 40-yard line. Pretty good blocking that time by the Athens Bulldogs to give Joe Sparhawk time to throw that ball, Bill.
Still going to be a 3rd down play despite the completion. He drops back to pass again. He throws it long, and John Cosgrove stretches himself out. He can't quite pick off the pass. He was back in coverage on number 81 for the Bulldogs, Bryan Wharton. Wharton, one of the leading receivers for the Bulldogs this year. He's had 11 catches for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Going to bring up a 4th and 5 for Athens. Once again, they'll be forced to punt, and Bill, has Athens got a first down yet this evening?
I don't think we've seen him do that so far.
Superb defensive effort by the Logan Chiefs so far. Sparhawk be kicking with the wind this time.
Cosgrove and Zimmerman once again back deep for the Chieftains. Sparhawk takes the ball and gets off a nice punt. Going to be fielded by Chad Zimmerman. He dances around and gets up across his own 35-yard line to about the 36, where it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Logan offense. We've got 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. Chieftains 28, Athens Bulldogs nothing if you're just joining us, and we thank you for doing so on LHS TV2. I'm Bill Morgan, filling in for Ed Fickle tonight. And Barry, we talked a little bit on my radio show this morning that apparently our understanding was that Ed is on assignment somewhere for ESPN tonight.
Not true, Bill. Not true.
Not true.
ESPN 2, I believe, but
He's covering sumo wrestling somewhere.
in Wellston, Ohio, I believe. Cosgrove takes it around the corner. Looks like he had nothing and turned on the Jets and picked up 5 yards. Bill, Ed is on assignment, and the only way that Mr. Nixon was going to allow him to leave tonight is if he brought back a written excuse from his mother that he couldn't be at the game tonight. But we're glad to have you along, add some professionalism to this broadcast, and
If you're looking to me for professionalism,
you do a great
Barry,
job.
We're all in big trouble.
you fit right in with this crowd.
Chain gang having some trouble over on the Logan sideline. Officials take a timeout on their behalf. Nice to see such a big crowd tonight from Logan. Made the trip down 33 to the Plains for the ball game tonight here at Rudder Field. And the field in excellent shape. Got a chance to go down and walk the field before the teams got out here tonight. And the groundskeepers out here at Athens High have done an excellent job keeping the field in good playing shape. Not only do they play football on this field, but also soccer in Athens with a strong soccer program. Brian Miller takes a snap, and he's under heavy pressure. He's going to throw the ball, and that's going to go incomplete. Again, heavy pressure from the Bulldogs, and he threw the ball, and Jim Myers was in the vicinity, as they say, Barry, so no flag on that for grounding.
Bring up a 3rd and 5. Once again, like you said, the coaches and the fans were screaming for an intentional grounding, but he was being tackled when he threw the ball.
In the second quarter, Galvez 20.
Probably no doubt that he did throw the ball away, but as long as you're in the intention and have somebody in the areas, they can't read your mind. Just caught a score. Bill, looks like Gallipolis is handling Jackson easily. It's 20-0. Handoff inside to Myers. He picks up 2 yards. Going to bring up a 4th down and 3.
Probably get to see Jordan Jackson for the first time tonight in a punting role. Seen him several times in his place kicking role so far this evening.
He's got a workout. He's kicked off 5 times and kicked 4 extra points. I bet that's the first time he's done that in less than a quarter and a half of play in his career.
Of course, Jordan's older brother Josh with the big ball game tomorrow up in Madison, Wisconsin, as the Ohio State Buckeyes take on the Badgers. It's going to be a fake punt. Jim Myers has got the ball.
So Logan shows a little trickery there with a fake punt snapped to the short man Jim Myers, who breaks it for a big 1st down, almost breaks it for a touchdown. Could have got by that last defensive back. He had 6 points.
I can't recall what ball game it was, Barry, but we did see that play a little bit earlier in the year up at Bill Sauer Field, and it was successful then, as it is now. 1st and 10 again for the Chieftains. They are at the Athens 40-yard line. Now, some of the Athens faithful are not too pleased with the Chieftains running a fake punt ahead 28-0. We got Cox wide left and Mellinger to the right to give to John Cosgrove. And he's stacked up at about the 39-yard line. Might get a yard, possibly 2.
Good defensive surge by the Athens defensive line, Bill. Shut Cosgrove down for little or no gain that time. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
As I mentioned seconds ago, Barry, doesn't look like the Blue Devils having too tough of a time with Jackson tonight. Already 20-0 in the second quarter. And we saw what a quality team Coach Brett Saunders had last week.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was looking at the schedule with the computer rankings and the number of teams that are ranked highly in their divisions that have played Logan this year. It's pretty impressive. Among them are Gallipolis, Zanesville, Lancaster, Chillicothe, Miami Trace, and Nelsonville, all ranked in at least the top 6 in their division in the computer rankings. So Logan, nothing to be ashamed of when you look at their strength of their schedule this year.
In talking with Mark Hartman from the Logan Daily before the ball game, Barry, he mentioned that it looks like the Nelsonville York Buckeyes have a good chance to return to the state football playoffs this year if they can pick up a victory tonight over Magnolia of West Virginia.
Well, I read the paper, and they're favored to win that game tonight, and I'd like to see local teams get in the playoffs. It gives you some pride in our area, and you know, people look on Southeast Ohio as maybe not having too much, but you know, Nelsonville won their their division not too many years ago. Little flare pass out here on this sideline to John Cosgrove, went nowhere. Once again, the punting unit's going to come on for the Logan Chieftains, and I look for Jackson to go ahead and punt the ball this time. It's 4th and 13.
Nelsonville York Buckeyes, of course, with a strong football program over the years, led by Dave Boston Sr. and Kevin Mead, now the head man there, and he was the head man last year here at Athens, Barry. Of course, before that, he was assistant for LHS. Jackson takes the ball.
You know, it looked to me like Jordan wanted to run that ball. He took a little stutter step. Ball dies at the 20-yard line. Looked like Jordan trying to kick it, maybe to the coffin corner. Got into that wind and knocked it down. So Athens is going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. 5 minutes to go here in the first half of play. The Chiefs up comfortably, 28-0 on the strength of a couple of costly Athens turnovers and 3 touchdowns by John Cosgrove. 4th touchdown scored on a quarterback sneak by Brian Miller. Point after touchdowns by Jordan Jackson. Sets the score for you, 28-0 in favor of the Chieftains.
3 wideouts for the Bulldogs. The give is to the senior, Nick Toth. He fumbles the ball. It looks like big Brian Klump fell on that one.
Official signals 1st and 10 for Logan. Once again, Bill, Logan's going to have excellent field position with 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go here to mount another touchdown drive.
At this point, it really becomes tough for Athens head coach Matt McPhail to have his kids keep their heads up, stay in the ball game with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Chieftains are up big, 28-0. They've got the ball 1st and 10 inside the Athens 30. They break the huddle. Eric Cox comes out wide to the right. Looks like Matt Mellinger to the left side. Myers gives the ball, or excuse me, Miller gives the ball to Cosgrove.
Boy, he runs hard, doesn't he, Bill? He just gets ahead of steam up real quick.
And he'll be back again next year in the backfield for the Chieftains. He's only a junior.
Unfortunately, we lose heart of our offensive line with the graduation of Brian Carpenter and Brooks Burris. A couple other guys we lose in there, too. I think our center, Dustin Conrad, also graduates. But, a lot of good younger players coming on from this reserve and freshman team to take their places.
Brian Miller drops back to pass. He throws it up. Matt Mellinger is open. He's got it. Touchdown, Chieftains.
Got a flag on the play, Bill. I'm not sure what that was, but a well-executed and well-thrown ball by Brian Miller. But we'll wait to see what the flag is.
Legal motion on the Chieftains, so that sweet 22-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Mellinger is going to come all the way back.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 12 for Logan from the Athens, about the 30-yard line, I believe.
The only way the Chieftains have been stopped so far tonight, Barry, is when they've stopped themselves, and that is a key example there. Second and 12 for the Chieftains.
Watch for that delay we've run so often in long yardage situations this year with Cosgrove or Myers.
Cox on the left.
Pitch outside. Good pursuit by the Athens defense.
Number 58, Bill Wolf, junior defensive lineman, strings it out and stops John Cosgrove on that play. As the time winds down in the first half.
Just right at 3 minutes and counting here in the first period of play, Bill. 3rd and 13 for Logan. Obvious pass situation. Logan's going to call timeout to talk things over. Weren't too sure what was going on there.
Looked like there was a little bit of confusion as Matt Mellinger sort of hung around in the backfield to talk to Brian Miller for a second. Then Brando is split on the right side, and then Brian Miller called a timeout. 2 minutes and 49 seconds until halftime. Want to remind the folks that Barry coming up Sunday at Bill Sauer Field. It is the review of bands, or the bands come out and play all their halftime shows from all year long.
Right.
And it's going to be at 3 o'clock. And I believe the folks from LHS TV2 will be taping that. Yes, they will, and they're going to show that Monday night at 7 o'clock.
This game, I believe, will be shown in its entirety whenever they can put it on.
Tomorrow morning, we're going to be on Saturday morning at 9.
If you're watching it Saturday, it's going to be on Wednesday. Well, I know sometimes on the home games that Mr. Nixon manages to put that game on after the game is over, but it may not be the case tonight. John Cosgrove on a draw play picks up 4 yards.
John gets close to the original line of scrimmage, Barry, and it'll be probably about a 4th and 10 here for Logan.
Offensive team is still in there. It's a little long for a field goal attempt for Jordan, and you wouldn't want to punt the ball here, so I imagine you're going to see the Chiefs going for it. It would be a 42-yard, 43-yard field goal into a brisk win, so 4th and 12, you're going to see Logan going for the first down here, Bill.
It's Cox to the left and Mellinger to the right. Brian Miller dropping back to pass. Flare out to Jim Myers, and the ball hits him in the hands, and down it goes. Referees are saying incomplete pass, but one of the Athens players, that's number 50, Ben Fortney, running with the ball, but the refs rule incomplete pass. So the ball will go over to the Bulldogs anyway, since that was a 4th down play with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first half.
Well executed play. Jim Myers did everything but catch the ball before he started running.
One of the common mistakes you'll see, whether it's at the high school, the college, or the NFL level, a receiver will start to run upfield before he actually gets his hands on the ball.
So Athens takes over 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line, trailing 28-0. Just about what everyone expected at the end of the game. I don't think anyone was expecting Logan to be ahead this far early in the game. Sparhawk tackling the backfield. We see a penalty flag on the ground. We'll see what the penalty is here. There was a fumble. They're waving the flag off. Once again, the officials have realized there was not a flag.
You're watching Logan Chieftain football tonight on LHS TV2. 1 minute and 55 seconds to go in the half. Barry, coming up at halftime, if you're watching at home, you will see Jeff North and the Logan Marching Chieftains, followed by the Athens Bulldog Marching Band. During the halftime show, 28-zip Logan. Sparhawk barks out the signals. Meeks and Toth in the backfield. To give us Nick Toth, and he is
Dwayne
down
in the backfield to bring this Toth down.
Senior linebacker goes in there with a big hit. Another loss for Athens. It's going to be 3rd and long.
We've called his number a lot this year too, Bill. Dwayne Funk's been on a lot of tackles at linebacker position. Logan takes the timeout to stop the clock. 1:28 to go. Athens faced with a 3rd and 21. Logan wanting a chance to possibly put a few more points on the board this half. There you see the LHS TV2 Pizza Crossing trivia question. Which SEOAL school has the most league titles in football? Is it Athens? Is it Gallipolis? Is it Jackson, or is it Logan? Put your answer on the back of a $20 bill, mail it to LHS TV2 in care of Craig Nixon. It's North Street, Logan, Ohio, 43138.
3rd and 21 for the Bulldogs as we come out of this timeout. Good defensive series by the Chiefs.
shut Athens down in 2 consecutive plays and actually thrown for a loss of 11 yards in the last 2 plays.
The give is again to Toth. He's got a wide open hole. He could go all the way.
Big play by the Athens Bulldogs. The timeout kind of backfires on Logan as they call timeout. Athens runs that draw play to Toth, and he's got some speed, Bill. He blew right by a couple of Logan players to score Athens' first touchdown of the evening.
A bright spot on a long night for the Athens Bulldogs. The senior Nick Toth has got to make him happy in his final game at Rudder Field tonight. An 84-yard touchdown run by Nick Toth. .115 to go in the half. The Bulldogs are on the scoreboard. It's 28-6. And if Toth can catch his breath, Barry, he's going to try and attempt the point after.
Well, for some reason, Athens is going to call a timeout. Athens is discussing their options whether they're going to kick the extra point or possibly try for 2.
Coach McPhail might have called a timeout to give Nick Toth a chance to catch his breath before he tries to boot the ball through the uprights. Freshman Joe Sparhawk will be the holder for the Bulldogs when they come out of this timeout. .28-6 the score.
I'm betting it's going to be 28-7 here in about 30 seconds.
Kick by Toth is good.
Just sneaks over the crossbar.
And it's 28-7. Chieftains over the Bulldogs. Senior night at Rudder Field. Bill Morgan along with Barry Metzler coming up at halftime. The halftime show will feature the Logan Marching Chieftains and the Athens Bulldog Marching Band as well. As we mentioned, the review of shows coming up Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock at Bill Sauer Field. So if you're watching LHS TV2 and Chieftain football on Saturday morning, mark that down in your book of something to do. Watch the Marching Chieftains coming up Sunday afternoon at 3 at Bill Sauer Field. Chieftains going to get a chance, Barry, to return a kickoff for the first time tonight.
A 3-play drive by the Athens Bulldogs, capped by an 84-yard touchdown run on a draw play by Nick Toth. Kind of puts Athens back in the ballgame a little bit, give them a good feeling going to the locker room to start the second half if Logan doesn't score. You never know what can happen in high school football. Like we say, it's Logan Athens.
Toth puts a nice toe into it, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
So the Chieftains will start on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 1:15 to go. Still leading comfortably by a 28-7 margin.
Brian Miller comes in from the sidelines, brings the play in from Logan offensive coordinator Jim Robinson. It's Myers and Cosgrove in the backfield. Cosgrove pulls ahead for about 8, Barry. Going to be 2nd and 2. Just about a minute to go in the first half. Number 47 for Athens in on that tackle. Freshman linebacker Matt Goodwin, one of the many 9th graders involved in the Athens football program as they try to rebuild this program, which, as Barry mentioned earlier in the evening, has such a strong tradition, but haven't had a real good squad here since Bubba Lichtenberg was the quarterback. Of course, he's now at OU with his father, Tom. There goes Cosgrove. He's around the right end, picks up a first down as he crosses to about the 33 or 34-yard line.
Flag on the play, Bill. Got a clip, I believe, holding against the Chiefs. So with 35 seconds to go here in the first period of play, Logan's drive looks like it's been temporarily stalled by a 15-yard holding penalty.
The LHS coaches are right to our left here tonight, Barry, and the coaches said that was a hold on Matt Mellinger, and that was the call. It was a hold. This is going to march the Chieftains back about 10 yards.
Of course, when you got Cosgrove in that backfield, you break him loose, he can go all the way at any time.
Second and 15. 35 seconds to go in the half. LHS 28 and Athens 7. Brian Miller drops back to pass. Another flag on the play. Again, he flares it out to Jim Myers. Myers crosses the field and gets up to another first down, close to the first down, but going to have to wait and see what the flag is.
Procedure against the Chiefs, Bill.
So we'll march it back 5 more and try it again.
Those are penalties you just shouldn't see this time of year. Lack of concentration, I guess. 28-7 lead will help you lose your concentration sometimes. But, you know, we're not far enough ahead of this game yet to be having penalties like that. 22 seconds to go here in the first half. Logan up 28-7. Official's going to tell us what the penalty was. And we'll resume action here in a few minutes. It's going to bring up a second and about 15, I'd guess. Motion against the Chiefs. Second and 15. 22 seconds to go in the first half.
Bulldogs can step the Chieftains here. They will take a little bit of momentum anyway, Barry, into halftime after that long touchdown run by senior Nick Toth. I think the Chieftains is going to stay in the huddle. I don't even think they'll run a play here. We'll have to wait and see. He'll come to the line of scrimmage as we tick down to 8, 7, 6 seconds to go. Pitches out to John Cosgrove. He's sweeping left. Almost gets around the corner, but he's tackled at about the 16, and that'll be the end of the first half. All Logan, the score, 28 for the